Hello, eBay sellers. I'm so happy that you've chosen to join me today. Thank you for being available to attend this presentation, and I hope that you will find the information valuable to you. A little background on me and what I do at eBay. My name is Tracy Nilsson, and I've been with eBay for over 22 years. I've worked in many different roles in my eBay career, and for the last 9 years, my role has been to help sellers grow their business and optimize their listings. And my team has a motto, and that is health before growth. So today we'll be talking about the health aspect of your account. We're going to be covering a few key items today. First, we'll go over what seller performance standards are, as well as service metrics for return. I'll explain the metrics that are used to evaluate seller performance. We'll cover numerous end-to-end protections that are available to you. And lastly, we'll share some tips and tools that you can use to improve your performance rating and therefore boost your business. The objective for today is simple. We want you to become more familiar with our seller performance metrics and discover new ways to improve or maintain your seller performance. That way you have a strong foundation to grow your business and keep your customers happy. You should keep trust, value, and relevance in all aspects of your eBay activity. Today's discussion also focuses on the trust factor of the 3 pillars of success. And keep in mind, it's a combination of trust, value, and relevance, all working in combination to ensure that your items are shown as frequently as possible and purchased when they're seen. eBay is committed to creating a safe platform where buyers and sellers can transact with confidence. When you're meeting your commitment to help us create and maintain a safe marketplace by following the policies we've established, trust is built. Today's discussion also focuses on many different areas of seller performance. So let's go over what seller performance means to you. So when assessing seller performance, we look at 4 specific standards: transaction defect rate, which factors into cancellations for being out of stock or damaged, as well as cases closed without seller resolution. Cases closed without seller resolution relates to cases involving returns or items not received claims that the seller does not resolve and have therefore required eBay to step in and help. Cases closed without seller resolution is its own seller metric as well, and it's also factored into your transaction defect rate. This is due to the weight of the negative impact it has on customers and their perception of eBay as a trusted marketplace. There's also late shipment rate. Any orders that are not shipped out within your stated handling time or delivered by your estimated delivery date are considered late shipments. Finally, tracking uploaded on time and validated. This pertains to any orders where tracking was never uploaded, was uploaded late, or did not have a valid carrier scan. Using these standards, sellers are assigned one of 3 ratings: top rated, above standard, or below standard. Top rated sellers are exceeding eBay's requirements and are going above and beyond to create exceptional experiences that our customers love. As a top rated seller, you'll receive top rated seller recognition on your feedback profile and will have the ability to earn Top Rater Plus benefits. Top Rated Plus benefits also include a 10% discount on your final value fees and a Top Rated Plus badge on all listings that offer a 1-day or less handle time and a 30-day free return policy. Above standard sellers are meeting our minimum standards and are making sure buyers' expectations are met, but there's still potential to improve performance to reach a top-rated level. Then there's below standard sellers. They are not meeting one or more of our minimum requirements and need to take action to improve their service to buyers. So why do these ratings matter? Let's compare the top-rated experience to the below standard experience. Top-rated sellers enjoy discounts on shipping, improved search ranking, eligibility for premium service badges applied to qualifying listings to entice more buyers. On the other end, below standard sellers can experience selling limit restrictions, selling feature surcharges, search ranking demotions, which mean your listings will be suppressed in search, possible account restrictions, which can be indefinite and are rarely overturned. So it's important to note that the consequences for below standard sellers are not meant to be punitive, but rather to maintain a trusted, positive shopping experience for our buyers, which in turn helps our sellers who are working hard to provide good, reliable service to build their business with us. So Next in this is our seller service metrics. Seller service metrics go hand in hand with seller standards and the dashboard that we've just gone over. So let's go into more on seller service metrics. So service metrics are based on your peer group. And in your peer group, we look at the same listing site. So if you list on ebay.com or ebay.ca, you're going to be judged against other sellers in that exact same area. We're also going to be looking at the same category that you list in. So if you list in electronics, we're not going to compare you to a seller that sells a Funko Pop. It will also look at similar selling prices and similar item conditions, similar return policies. Basically, we're doing apple versus banana. So it also, the delivery estimated times, where you're located, things like that. So we want to get as close to possible to compare you to other sellers that are about the same, selling the same things, selling the same location, item, all of that kind of thing. So now that you understand what seller performance standards are, let's discuss the metrics we use to evaluate sellers against these standards, the timing of the evaluation, and how you can track your ratings in real time. So let's talk about the timing. We evaluate performance on the 20th of each month. Your evaluation period is determined by the number of sales transactions you have in those previous 3 months. Depending on this number, you will be defined for that particular evaluation as either a low or high volume seller. Low volume sellers are defined as having less than 400 transactions in the past 3 months. They're also subject to a 12-month evaluation look back. High volume sellers have 400 transactions in the past 3 months, or greater than 400 transactions. And they're subject to a 3-month look back. So it's important information to know because it will help you manage your eBay business and the operations in a way that help you achieve and maintain top-rated seller status. So let's take a look. The table provides a clear picture of each metric and what we're looking for in evaluating your performance. Your account will fall below standard if your overall defect rate exceeds 2%, or if your cases closed without seller resolution exceeds 0.3%. You can see now how heavily cases closed without seller resolution is weighted, and the importance of resolving all of your returns and item not received cases promptly to avoid having your customer escalate and contact eBay. So you can see that your late shipment rate and overall tracking upload with validation metrics will not cause your account to fall below standard. These are metrics only to help you when you achieve top-rated seller status. So for the late shipment metric, if we can see that tracking is not being scanned and validated within your handling time, or if the item arrived after your estimated delivery date, it would result in a late shipment. However, if you ship on time and upload valid tracking, or if your buyer tells us the shipment was on time when they leave feedback, you're all set and would not have a late shipment recorded. In order to meet the tracking upload requirement, a tracking number needs to be uploaded to the transaction. The tracking number needs to be uploaded to the transaction within your stated handling time, and your tracking number needs to be validated by an approved shipping carrier such as the United States Postal System, Canada Post, FedEx, UPS, and DHL, to name just a few. From there, we average out the percentage of all transactions that meet these three criteria. As long as your percentage exceeds 95%, you'd be meeting the requirement for top-rated seller status. So it is still possible to earn top-rated if you're a day or two late on a transaction infrequently, but I would recommend updating your handling time if you're not able to meet one-day handling consistently. To achieve top-rated seller status, you have all 4 metrics to work within. So how do you monitor your rating? This is where the Seller Hub comes in. It is a free, powerful tool that eBay sellers can use to analyze and accelerate their business. We're going to focus on the performance section within the Seller Hub, which displays a dashboard view of your selling activity, including your seller rating. There are multiple ways to get to your dashboard within Seller Hub and view your current rating. Here are 2 of the most common ways. From the Seller Hub, hover your cursor over the performance and select seller level. This will take you immediately to the seller dashboard. You can also get there from the overview page. Clicking on the status under the seller level forecast will immediately take you back to your seller dashboard. So your seller dashboard will shine light on your post-transaction performance and will call out what adjustments you need to make to your business. I would make it a habit to check your dashboard weekly or more to keep up with how you are doing. When you click on a specific metric, it will provide details about the area you clicked on. So as you can see from the image on your screen, we're looking at your tracking uploaded on time and validated. So you can also click on Get Full Report. The Get Full Report will provide you with a list of all the transactions that are counting negatively against you, or if it has been removed. Having this information readily available to you can help you identify if there are trends that need to be worked on and ironed out. If you have a lot of transactions or you're not sure why defects are counting towards you, downloading this report into an Excel file will give you more details about your performance and make it easier to sort through the data. You can access this report by clicking the download button. The report will include the transaction date and the date the payment actually cleared, since you're not expected to ship the item out unless payment was successful. I'd encourage you to dive into transactions and why they're counting as late, or for any other area, why they're counting as a defect, to understand what you need to do to improve your performance. So now that you understand what our performance standards are and how they're evaluated, let's explore some ways that eBay protects you and ways that you can protect yourself as well as protect other sellers. At eBay, we believe that people are basically good, and we always assume that everyone has the best intentions when they transact and communicate on the platform. We also understand that there are individuals that may attempt to take advantage of you on the platform that we offer, and we want to protect you and other selling partners. eBay has dedicated teams that actively monitor the platform and take action to remove buyers that misuse and abuse feedback, return processes, or any of the buyer protections we have in place. We also understand that life happens, and some things are just out of your control. For something as simple as an item arriving late, but the carrier scan shows it was shipped on time, we'll adjust your late shipment rate and cover you for any negative or neutral feedback left in relation to shipping or delivery. We'll keep an eye out for major disruptions due to weather and proactively address performance metrics related to issues outside of your control, so you can focus elsewhere without having to let us know. Keep an eye on the announcement section in the Seller Hub, the community boards, and your eBay messages for information for important updates and extensions of protections. So let's talk about some other scenarios to be aware of and how to notify eBay that they're taking place. eBay is a massive marketplace with over 185 million active buyers, and we process over 2 billion transactions every single day. Given the sheer magnitude of the platform, you may on occasion run into a buyer you feel has ill intentions or is misrepresenting what may have taken place with the purchase. We have quite a few advanced methods and algorithms designed to identify what we consider bad buying behaviors, so we can take action and prevent them from becoming commonplace. But you're honestly one of the best resources that we have when it comes to identifying what our automated systems can't. If you run across any of the scenarios we're about to discuss, please take a moment to let us know by locating the transaction and reporting the buyer from the orders page in Seller Hub via the link you see there. So if you encounter a buyer that's demanding something that wasn't included in the original listing, please take a moment to report them. This can include requesting a shipping service not offered, a different payment method outside of what's indicated, or requesting a partial refund or discount after purchasing, or even free items. If you believe they're making false claims about the item or its condition upon receiving it, or claims of non-receipt when tracking shows delivered, don't assume that the buyer is attempting to mislead you if the tracking shows the item was delivered or they claim the item was damaged or arrived in a condition other than it was sent. Sometimes the post office misdelivers packages to neighboring houses, or a family member will grab and misplace the item without the recipient knowing. If tracking confirms delivered as addressed, eBay has your back, and we won't force any type of resolution on you. If that situation comes up, try to be as helpful and calm as possible with your buyer. Provide tracking details. Try to be as communicative as possible, but understand that we have you covered based on the objective tracking information that confirms delivery. Let us know if buyers return an item differently than the one they purchased from you. The same item you initially sent but used, or missing parts, or even an empty box. There are several possible outcomes if you have received something other than what was sent. And honestly, there's too many one-off scenarios to individually discuss here. The big takeaway here is to let us know ASAP so we can review, investigate, and take actions to protect you and the eBay community. I don't want to scare you. This doesn't happen as often as you'd think, and we take actions like this very, very seriously. We're able to take action based on data we have, and most importantly, your reports. So again, please keep us in the loop if anything like this happens. And also let us know if buyers retract bids on auction listings without correcting their bid, or message you anything that isn't related to purchasing the item, like spam or threats. Threats are very, very uncommon, by the way, but I wanted to make sure that you were aware. We have teams actively monitoring the reports our sellers send, and will absolutely take action if we find consistent behaviors that damage the viability and safety of our marketplace. So please take a moment to report buyers so that we can investigate a little bit further and protect you and other sellers. So earlier, we talked about what eBay considers a defect and how they're the main factors that can drive your account to below standard status. And again, below standard status can lead to deprecated search results, additional selling fees, and potential restriction. So just as a refresher, defects happen when a case is closed without seller resolution. This could be a situation where a buyer runs into an issue when the item was purchased from you, like an item not being delivered without tracking to validate, or receiving a damaged item, or an item that didn't match the listing description. Now remember, you have 3 days to come to an arrangement, and if after those 3 days either you or the buyer ask eBay to step in, we will. Once we step in, we'll review the request, and if we can offer a solution that you could have provided, like facilitating a return for a refund, or refunding an item where tracking doesn't confirm delivery, a defect for a case closed without seller resolution will be assessed. Defects are also assessed if you cancel a transaction by indicating the item isn't in stock, meaning you're unable to fulfill the order for the item your buyer purchased. Cancellations create an awful experience for our buyers. They're excited to get an item, and next thing they know, it's been canceled. Now they have to wait for the funds to be received and look elsewhere for the item that they were already excited to get from you. One other caveat where defects can be assessed is if you fail to process a refund within 48 hours of the item being returned, with tracking to confirm the delivery. Most refunds are automatically processed, so this won't be an issue, but it is something to keep an eye out for. Keep in mind, it's always better to proactively process the refund rather than ignoring it, which could lead to that defect. Here's where eBay comes in. We protect you from defects and negative feedback, preventing or automatically removing them when certain circumstances come up. We remove defects if your buyer fails to pay for an item where immediate payment isn't required and a cancellation has been filed with the reason buyer never paid. If an eBay money-back guarantee is escalated for review, meaning you or the buyer asked us to step in and that request is closed in your favor after review it, we'll remove or prevent defects and feedback. We'll automatically remove the defect if it's a direct result of a technical issue caused by eBay. If we act and remove a buyer's money-back protections or remove them from the platform based on behaviors or member reports, we'll remove or protect you from defects. On occasion, eBay may instruct you to hold a shipment or cancel a transaction. In that case, we have you covered. Or if we can determine through valid tracking that the defect was the direct result of delays in shipping outside of your control, we'll help clean those up as well. So as long as you're setting achievable expectations, focusing on creating great customer experiences, it's only a matter of time until you'll reach top-rated seller status. Once you've achieved that rating, you'll earn additional layers of protections, which include return label reimbursement. Remember, if a buyer returns an item based on something you're at fault for, you're responsible for return shipping costs. As a trusted top-rated seller, we'll reimburse you up to $6 per return. If a buyer falsely claims seller fault, just report the buyer using the steps we covered earlier. And if the reimbursement credit will then appear on your next monthly invoice. Once you're top rated, we'll offer to assess to you what we call the partial refund tool. Let's say you've inspected a returned item and determined it's damaged or used. When you're processing the refund, just let us know and we'll cover 50% of the original purchase price of an item rather than having you absorb the entire loss. Remember, we don't ever physically handle merchandise, so it's difficult to substantiate what was sent out and returned. As a trusted top-rated seller, we offer this benefit so you can focus on growing your business, not the one-off hiccups. It's a pretty awesome feature, to say the least, and one that sellers had asked for a really long time. Once you're a top-rated seller, all you need to do is offer 30-day returns, buyer or seller paid, and not have any service metric areas rated as very high. And we'll touch on service metrics a little bit more. Remember, you can always check on your seller performance rating under the performance link in Seller Hub. Bottom line, eBay only succeeds when our sellers succeed. So it's in our best interest to enable you to thrive and grow. We've got your back as a trusted selling partner in this, and I hope the protections we cover help you to understand that. So next, let's talk about best practices. Best practices often come in the form of listing practice policies. So let's talk about those now. So as I mentioned earlier, eBay is your selling partner in this, and we understand mistakes can happen. We want you to focus on the big picture and not get hung up by the little things. Now, in most cases, if you mistakenly violate one of our listing policies, we'll clearly communicate what went wrong and any steps you'd need to take to fix the listing to ensure it's compliant if it's an option to do so. So once everything is fixed, you can relist the item and go about your day. And if you accidentally violate an account-related policy, or if we need more information about your business, we'll temporarily hide your listings while you provide the information or correct the issue. Once the corrections are made or the info that we're looking for is provided, your listings will be visible again. These violations won't happen too frequently, but if they do, we'll work as best as possible with you to keep things moving as they should. We do, however, take counterfeit items very, very seriously. As trusted selling partners, we depend on you to exercise due diligence when it comes to listing and selling authentic items. If we identify questionable items, remove them, or take any action otherwise, we'll notify you and provide details as to why we took this action. If eBay ever notifies you about counterfeit concerns on the item that you've listed, it's critical that you either address the concerns laid out in the email or discontinue selling those items unless you're notified otherwise. If we identified consistent counterfeit listing behaviors, we may take action to end listings or cancel existing sales. We could hide or demote your items in search results. Your hard-earned seller rating could possibly be lowered, and you may even lose your seller protections, and your account could be temporarily restricted or permanently suspended. So bottom line, if you're not 100% sure of the authenticity of an item, don't list it. And if we make you aware of our concerns and remove the listing, absolutely at all costs avoid listing the item again to avoid the consequences we've just discussed. Again, eBay is a flexible platform, and we want to make sure that you are aware and let you fix issues rather than causing a halt to your sales. Let's review the top takeaways. So the best practice for seller standards and service metrics is simply to check your account and dashboard frequently for trends and possible issues. Make sure to appeal any defects that should not be on your account in a timely manner. It truly takes a village to build and maintain a safe and trusted marketplace. As sellers, doing your part in achieving this will be vital to your success on the platform. One of the ways you can do this is by reporting buyers that violate policies and practices by taking the steps we reviewed earlier. Don't list any items where you're not 100% sure of their authenticity. Pay attention to policy violation notifications and take action and correct the issue if possible. We're flexible on the little hiccups, but we keep an eye out for consistent trends. Try to avoid making the same mistake twice. That's really when it becomes an issue. Keep an eye on your service metrics. Again, these are an apple-to-apple comparison to peers selling similar items with similar business models. Aim to become a trusted, top-rated seller. It really isn't that hard as long as you focus on providing great service to your buyers. Once you're top-rated, you'll be able to take advantage of additional seller protection benefits like return label reimbursement and partial refund coverage. I've said this a few times and I really mean it. We're partners in this. And eBay has your back when it comes to creating and managing a safe marketplace that thrives. We're looking out for you by taking active measures that allow you to focus your energy where it belongs. And that's on growing your eBay business and succeeding. And in return, we're looking for you to maintain your end of the partnership by delivering quality products and great service to our buyers. And with that, we've finished covering how to keep your standards high, which will in turn help you raise your sales. So thank you for attending this session, and I hope you continue to enjoy eBay Open. Thanks.